Hey guys, what's going on? It's Saturday, which means that it's Bullseye Trade's update time. So you guys have been watching this series for a while. I've been doing this now, like a video a week for quite a while. So basically I've been doing a summary of Jeff Bishop Bullseye Trades every single week. And if you go to this review, check back down here, you'll see all the different weeks. So I put the date and then I put what happened with each trade. Both what happened with me, what happened with other people, and what happened with Jeff. So you can get an idea of what the likelihood of you being able to make money with the service is. I'll give you a clue, it's really, really high. A very high chance of making money with this service. From my experience, from the results that I'm showing in these videos, and also from other people's experience with this service as well. So you can see all the different results over the whole of 2022. And it's fantastic. So a very, very quick overview for people that have no idea what I'm talking about. If you're new to this channel and you've no idea what Bullseye Trades is, Bullseye is run by this guy, Jeff Bishop. He's a co-founder of Raging Bull, and every Monday morning he sends out a pretty simple email trade idea, which is an options trade, and basically it details the buy, sell, why he thinks it's going to go up, and you execute your trade throughout the week. Usually the trades only take a few days, but it's not unknown for Jeff to hold things for more than that in order to get the maximum gain out of the trade. So let's get into what happened this week. So it's cool because I can show you these ideas because they're kind of done and dusted more or less. So I'm not giving away anything proprietary or anything to non-subscribers. These ideas can be talked about every weekend, which is perfect for me if I'm looking to produce some useful content for you guys. So yeah, let's get started. So this week's alert, if we go into Bullseye Trades, was this one right here. So Bullseye Trade of the week, August 8th, that was 5 days ago, 6 days ago now. And this is the email that you get if you look down here, Bullseye Pick of the Week. Jeff was actually wrong about this. Second week in a row he's actually been wrong. This week I still think the markets are due for a pullback. So the last couple of weeks that's what Bullseye Trade has said, and Jeff's been wrong, and that's what happens sometimes. He's been right most of the year. But in terms of the market having a pullback, nothing could be further from the truth. This week they've really rallied, as you guys know if you're watching. And he decided to still go long with PENN though, PENN. And it's basically, it seems like his thought process was it's a sector that's been kind of seasonal, like sports betting, and he still thinks it would rally. And he doesn't give a huge amount of detail in here, so he just says, talks about football season, along with football season comes the top betting season for the year. We see this seasonality effect, along with football season comes the top betting season, blah blah blah. So not a lot of detail in the email, but the key part is always highlighted, which is a nice little touch. And you can just go in and look at these particular call options for PENN, near 140, stop under 32, target $40. And the real value to the service is when you go and listen to his live trade commentary at 11 Eastern time. So you'll go live and start talking in more detail about why he thinks this is a good trade for the week. What's so cool about the service is, despite the fact his market outlook was completely wrong, we had a bullish week rather than a bearish week, PENN still actually worked out pretty well if you know what you're doing with Bullseye Trades. And that's part of the reason I've been doing these videos, to try and show what I've learned over the years of being a member of the service and what other people are doing too. To give you an example, Ken is a guy I actually think I probably introduced Ken to Bullseye, and he hit 132% on this trade, which is amazing. And you can see I just submitted a comment saying I thought it was great, squeaking out a 35% win. But what's cool in the comment section here is you get to see other real subscribers. Like, I know Ken's a real guy. I know that he's not some stooge planted by Raging Bull in the comment section. And you get the full commentary from other people too. So here's another guy. This trader would have been killer if he'd gotten in. So that's always the thing, is the timing is pretty difficult, and really the timing for me has always been to wait for a day. So I'll show you the charts as we go on here, but usually if you wait for a day or two for the price to come back to the price on the alert, so the alert here it's 140. So this thing rallied really hard out the gates, and I'll show you the chart in a sec. But people that know how to play these know that they really want to hold off until the trade comes to them, and Jeff advocates that a lot. So here's another guy, sold on the pop this M, hit my 50% target, love these easy exits, selling into strength, just sticking to the plan, not getting greedy. So you can see other people are doing well with these, even though this week wasn't even a very good one. People are still making money from it. Jeff does update in the comments like what he was doing, so he tried to get in at 120, which was pushing it a little bit. I did know somebody who got in around there. They did really well this week, but Jeff didn't, and he never made the trade. But a lot of his subscribers still managed to make money from this. One thing I wanted to point out is this guy, and I'm not picking on him in any way, Jeffrey Jones, but I've seen people make this comment with Bullseye. This happened last week. Give us another pick, Jeff. And I understand, but you can play these trades if there's nothing wrong with the trade. Somebody made 132% on this. I made 35%. Other people made 50, 60, 70% on this. So the pick was good. Just because it rallies out the gates doesn't mean that it's not a good trade. It means you have to wait for the price to come to you, which is what Jeff advocates in each, email. To me, this guy's paying $97 or $95 for the year, and he's demanding another Bullseye Trades pick right a few days after a good one's just happened. It's this type of attitude that really irritates me, and I've seen it for years now, people thinking that somehow these picks can just be pulled out of the hat. Jeff probably spent the weekend researching Penn to get this trade to us for what amounts to pretty much nothing in terms of what we're paying, right? I mean, it's a really small amount, so $2 a week or something costs. That's what the subscription costs. Anyway, enough of a rant about that. This type of attitude really annoys me, and it's what gives rise to people saying things like this is a scam, and it's just nonsense. Anyway, let's get started. So I wanted to show you Penn on the chart. Here's the chart, 5 days. So this first day is Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These areas are the post and pre-market. So this is what happened right out of the gate, and I think that's why some people got a bit annoyed. And it happens regularly with Bullseye. It's right at the open. The stock rallied really, really hard, and people that are maybe not that used to trading, or they're not disciplined enough, could have ended up chasing it and buying it up here and then having to wait the whole week just to break even. But let's face it, they probably panicked down here and sold for a loss. So again, this is why every week I'm saying don't chase this thing. Wait for it to pull back, pull back, pull back. Sometimes you can get in the end of Monday. Often Tuesday is a better entry. And actually this week that's what I did. I waited to about here. So it started to kind of base out here. Knowing fine well that there's still potential downside, but it was a pretty good entry for me. And I actually looked back to previous support from a week ago. So I knew this was kind of a key area. And I liked my odds here, so I got in at 150 on the contracts that Jeff suggested. I'll show you those in a minute. And then, of course, this thing rallied the next day, and I ended up selling. Actually, I think I sold on the pop at the open, so I just went from here to here for a quick 35%. And then, of course, it continued up all week until Friday, which is usually what happens. So scaling out is also one thing, a tactic you can use. I should probably do it a little bit more. So I know sometimes people will buy like a half position and then buy another half position and then sell half and then sell half. So there's a way to milk this trade, even though it didn't quite do what Jeff hoped for. His profit target was 40, which is up here. Or close to 40, I think he actually said, so we didn't quite get there. But there's still a really good trade. So let's take a look at the contracts, as that's the underlying, see what the contracts actually were. So the August 26th, $35 calls. So let's go and look at those. August 26th, $35 calls. Yeah, they doubled from where I bought them. It's always the case. Let's see, yellow charts. Okay, so this is the same the same chart, but instead of the underlying stock, we're actually plotting the contracts that Jeff suggested. So this is depressing as usual. Looking here, I bought around here, like I said, at 150, and these things closed at 328, so more than a double in the space of 2 or 3 days. So typical. Again, if you'd bought around here, like if you had chased, you'd have probably broken even if you'd managed to hold till Friday. We bought up way up here chasing, which would be ridiculous because the contracts were nearly $4, and given that the buy price target was 140, I don't know why you'd be buying up at $4. Honestly, right out the gate it was in the 2s, and I wasn't going to buy it. I waited for the 150s. Some people even got like close to 120, like 130 even. Perfect timing down here. So take home messages: don't chase these things out the gate. Wait for a day. Get in on a pullback. Be disciplined about getting in close to his price or under. That's my kind of rule: is try to get as close as possible or under to Jeff's price. That way, if the trade does go against you, you're going to take a minimal loss, and if it goes with you, you'll get a maximum gain. So I think there's not a lot of people complaining, but I do see complaints sometimes. Oh, it got away from me. No, it didn't. You just had to wait for a day until it pulled back and able to get in. This guy ran and wasn't able to get in once your alert came out, and he decided to follow. You just wait for a pullback, and that's what he said he was going to do too. Wait for a little pullback. I can't chase an idea up nearly 10%. So hopefully that's helpful. I think Bullseye Trades to me is still one of the best services, even though you do have to be a little bit careful with your entries and exits. You're not really spoon-fed. Like, you can go in the comments there and ask Jeff stuff, and he does respond, but at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own trades. So again, I took 40% last week on Qs, and then this week I took about 35%. So I'll update this list of trades so you guys can go through it and see all these videos and everything like the one I'm doing right now. So hopefully that's helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon.